Good evening, viewers. Tonight we're examining the shifting dynamics between Canada and the United States, where recent developments reveal a pattern of grassroots resistance against American pressure. While political tensions have cooled following a tariff pause, there's a compelling story unfolding that mainstream media hasn't fully captured. Canadian citizens are taking action, launching boycotts of American products and canceling U.S. travel plans. This movement could impact the American economy, potentially extending beyond the current tariff dispute to include boycotts of U.S. cars, electronics, and consumer goods. The catalyst? President Trump's provocative rhetoric during his second term. Through Truth Social and public appearances, Trump has suggested that Canada might become the 51st state. In one post, he wrote about our great American hockey team, adding that Canada, with lower taxes and stronger security, will someday become our 51st state. The former president calls Prime Minister Justin Trudeau Governor Trudeau, implying Canada's leader is more like a state governor than head of a sovereign nation. After a tense Mar-a-Lago meeting, Trump suggested that if Canada couldn't survive without U.S. support, statehood might be inevitable. Trump's strategy includes threats of steep tariffs on Canadian goods, citing illegal immigration and fentanyl trafficking. His message: either Canada aligns with U.S. policies or faces consequences. But these tactics are backfiring. Canadians are responding with patriotic fervor and economic resistance. Political parties are pursuing expanded trade with the European Union and global partners, while citizens vote with their wallets through boycotts and changed travel plans. Next up, we'll explore how these actions are reshaping the economic landscape between these traditionally close allies. Stay with us. Breaking news: Canadian unity surges amid U.S. trade tensions. Recent polls reveal that 82% of Canadians firmly reject any notion of their country becoming America's 51st state. This statistic comes amid escalating trade tensions between the two North American neighbors. The data, collected through YouGov and Ledger surveys, shows particularly strong opposition among women and older Canadians, highlighting a commitment to national sovereignty across demographic lines. Economic resistance is taking shape, with Canadians wielding their purchasing power as protest. Many are canceling U.S. travel plans and boycotting American products. Ontario authorities have removed American brands from liquor store shelves, while social media campaigns promoting Canadian products gain traction. The hashtag #BuyCanadian in Canada is not for sale have become symbols of economic patriotism. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has defended Canadian interests, emphasizing the country's natural resources and democratic institutions. He warned that U.S. tariffs could backfire, affecting American manufacturing jobs and consumer prices. Former official Chrystia Freeland characterized the tariff threats as economic warfare, arguing they challenge Canadian sovereignty. Despite tensions, leaders continue to reference the nation's shared history of cooperation. The response has gained symbolic significance, with Canadians displaying the maple leaf flag during its 60th anniversary celebrations. This surge in patriotic expression serves as a visible rejection of annexation rhetoric. Retailers report increasing sales of Canadian-made products, suggesting a collective effort to strengthen domestic markets. The movement has united Canadians across political lines, showing that national identity transcends partisan divisions when faced with external challenges. Economic analysts note that while both countries maintain interdependence, the situation has sparked a renewed appreciation for Canadian economic autonomy and cultural distinctiveness. Breaking news: the Canada is not for sale movement has become a powerful symbol of national unity, with merchandise including caps and t-shirts flying off shelves as Canadians express their determination to maintain sovereignty. This grassroots campaign reflects growing tensions between the North American neighbors. Canadian families are increasingly canceling their U.S. vacation plans, causing substantial economic ripples across the border. The U.S. Travel Association projects potential losses of up to $2.1 billion in visitor spending and approximately 14,000 American jobs if this trend continues. Florida, which typically welcomes up to 1.5 million Canadian visitors annually, faces severe impacts. The travel industry is already feeling the effects, with WestJet reporting a 25% decline in U.S.-bound bookings. Air Canada is monitoring the situation, suggesting possible route adjustments. This shift isn't limited to leisure travel. Educational institutions are also reconsidering their U.S. destinations. In Quebec, Education Minister Bernard Drainville has advised students to reconsider their annual New York City trips. A high school in Granby made headlines by canceling planned visits to New York and Boston, citing safety concerns and a desire to protest harmful economic policies. The impact extends beyond tourism. Local economies on both sides of the border are experiencing significant changes. American businesses dependent on Canadian customers report declining revenues, while Canadian service providers are pivoting to focus on domestic markets. This widespread resistance to U.S. travel reflects a deeper sentiment among Canadians, who are increasingly choosing to redirect their spending towards domestic options. The movement has evolved beyond mere economic protest into a statement of national identity and unity, showing how trade disputes can reshape not just economic relationships, but cultural connections between nations. Good evening. I'm reporting on the shifting dynamics between Canada and the United States, where changing consumer behavior is reshaping North American economic relations. Recent data shows Canadians are increasingly choosing domestic destinations over traditional U.S. hotspots, reflecting growing economic patriotism. The numbers tell a compelling story. The U.S.-Canada trade relationship, valued at approximately $1.2 trillion in 2024, is experiencing notable shifts. While maintaining its position as the world's largest bilateral trading partnership, recent tensions have sparked changes in consumer patterns. Let's break down the critical aspects. U.S. exports to Canada reached $349.5 billion, but resulted in a goods trade deficit of $63.3 billion for the United States. This deficit is primarily driven by energy imports, highlighting Canada's crucial role as America's energy lifeline. The interdependence goes deeper. More than 2 million U.S. jobs directly depend on Canadian trade. In the energy sector, Canadian exports valued at $180 billion account for 44% of total U.S. energy imports. Over half of all U.S. crude oil imports originate from Canada. In the automotive sector, the integration is even more pronounced. A single vehicle might cross the border multiple times during assembly, with the Detroit-Windsor corridor processing over 2.3 million vehicles annually. Major automakers have built their production strategies around this seamless cross-border operation. Experts warn that any disruption to this delicate balance, whether through tariffs or border restrictions, could trigger a domino effect. We're talking about potential gasoline price increases of up to 30% and significant spikes in vehicle costs. The situation raises an important question. As Canadians increasingly exercise their economic sovereignty through conscious consumer choices, how will this affect the deeply intertwined North American economy? Back to you in the studio. Breaking news. Critical trade bonds reveal deep economic interdependence. In a revealing analysis of North American trade dynamics, recent data shows how intricately connected the Canadian and American economies have become, with significant implications for both nations' prosperity and security. The numbers tell a compelling story. In 2024, the trade relationship between these allies reached unprecedented levels, with metals and minerals accounting for 11% of U.S. goods imports from Canada, $42 billion in value. These materials are crucial for America's defense industry, electronics, and renewable energy future. The agricultural sector is equally significant. American farmers found their biggest customer in Canada, with exports hitting $27 billion in 2024. Canadian agricultural exports to the U.S. reached $32 billion, covering dairy products, wheat, and seafood. Over 2 million American jobs directly depend on this trade relationship, representing millions of families whose livelihoods rely on cross-border commerce. The stakes are high. Any disruption through tariffs or trade barriers could trigger material shortages, increased production costs, and impacts across aerospace, construction, and retail sectors. This partnership gains importance amid global uncertainty. While other international relationships face challenges, the North American Economic Partnership remains a crucial pillar of stability. This isn't just about business, it's about national security, food security, and citizens' daily lives. The relationship between these nations represents one of the world's most successful economic partnerships, despite occasional political tensions. Thank you for staying informed with us. Your support means everything to our mission of delivering crucial news. Understanding these economic ties helps us grasp why international relations matter in our daily lives. Stay tuned for more updates on this and other developing stories.